to today's webinar. Myself, Amit, from First Achiever Consultant. We are here again with the university delegates. We have today Farheen from University of North Texas, and few instructions like in the beginning we're going to get asked Farheen to give us the tour of the UNT, and in the meantime you can also ask your questions related to the COVID or maybe some admissions and all. Not about visas, because obviously visas have been the condition. We have not been able to comment anything on it. I'm definitely sure that all of you have been planning to study in USA for fall or maybe January 21, and you all have many questions about taxes and everything. So you can ask your question in the chat box. We'll try to connect all the questions which we feel are being important. And if you have any more questions, obviously been here at our offices, you can reach to us. On the end, we also have one of the students who have been studying presently at UNT, Viren Patel. So we're also going to ask him to share his experience about UNT. So yes, Farin, hand over to you. Like.
Thank you so much, Amit. Thank you. It's been a great opportunity for me to come join with First Achievers Consultants. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We also have Viren Patel, who is a student currently studying at UNT. He will also share his experience. Before that, I will give you a little bit of information about UNT. So I'm not going to do like a boring, rigorous presentation for all of you, because I'm sure you have been attending many webinars these days. So we'll try and keep it light. And whatever questions you have, please share them in the chat box, and we will try and answer as many of them as possible. So now I will share the screen for the presentation that I have. I hope everyone can now see the presentation.
Yes, it is perfect.
Perfect. So we'll start. University of North Texas, as the name itself says, we are located in Texas, and as this presentation slide marks, the start date of the establishment that UNT was established was 1890. We're a pretty old university. We are a public university, a state university, and the benefits of that we will talk about in the coming slides. Moving on, I'll not obviously talk about all the points in the presentation because of the time constraints. So we will start with a couple of points, and I'll skip certain slides as well. We are located in, this map shows where we are located. So we are located in the southernmost part of the US, Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is the north side, because the name itself says, right, North Texas. So we are in Texas, and we are in the northern part of Texas. Now, what's the benefit of you coming in Texas? First, yes, obviously there are a lot many Gujaratis over there, for sure, just like Viren, who's studying at UNT or in Texas, and it's a very comfortable weather for people like us who are born and brought up in India, because we are used to living in a tropical weather condition. So this is our campus. This is the bird's eye view of our campus. It's a pretty huge campus. We have about 875 acres of the campus size. Why it is important for you to know the campus size? Because we are going there for research, we're going there to study, so we have extensive arrangements and possibilities available on campus, and US education is known for that. So size of the campus is also very important when it comes to part-time jobs, obviously, because we have to cover up our living expenses somehow. So, and US allows you to work part-time. US allows you to work part-time for 20 hours per week on campus. And at 20, I'm sure Viren will certainly back on my statement that finding a job is not as tough. Once you make some connections in the beginning, it is easy for you to find out a part-time job. Moving on, I just mentioned briefly about the climate. So we'll talk about climates a little briefly. In India, also we have multiple climates. I am based here in very close to Gujarat, but still in Maharashtra, climates are so different. Even in Gujarat, there are so many variety of climatic zones that we see. So climates is certainly a very important point when you go to study, because comfort is important for a student. And Texas is more or less hot and humid. As you can see, it's marked orange-ish here. Um, North of Texas is hot and dry, because though we're close to the ocean, we're not as close as the southern part. So it's hot and dry, more or less, the DFW area where we are located. Uh, we'll also talk about rankings, because it's very important for you, obviously, when you decide from 50 universities coming down to 10 and then to apply to 5 to 7 universities. Rankings is the most important, one of the most important factors for sure. We have multiple rankings, but we'll highlight one here is the Carnegie classification ranking, because I'm sure a lot of you are interested in engineering related programs and research and some sciences programs. So Carnegie classification ranking is very important, because we're a tier 1 research university, which means top 3% of research facilities are available on our campus. We do have many other rankings like ABET accreditation and AACSB accreditation for our College of Engineering, for our College of Business, and many other accreditations like these, which are also listed on our website for you, that you can check out as per your programs. Now, a little bit about the area where we are. So Dallas Fort Worth area, Benton City. Texas as a whole has three major cities. Three major cities are Austin, Houston, and Dallas Fort Worth. Austin is where we have the capital, obviously, of Texas, and we have a lot of research in medicine and in healthcare industry and IT industry. Houston is where NASA is located, and UNT has a very close collaboration with NASA as well. And DFW is where we are located. So we have a lot of IT industries and of Texas Healthcare Research Center, obviously. So a lot of healthcare, IT, and engineering related job opportunities are there in DFW area. Everyone knows JFK Airport, because that's the biggest airport of the US, and most of the people do go to JFK. But when you have to come to Texas and when you have to come to UNT, you come to the DFW Airport. DFW Airport is one of the fourth largest airports of the US, so it's super huge. It's big. A lot of operations, a lot of supply chain. Now, this was very surprising for me to know that every Samsung mobile that comes into the US comes from DFW, and we know Samsung is pretty popular, right? So everyone in our houses will have so many Samsung phones. Apart from iPhone, I think before these other brands really came in, Samsung has been one of our most favorites. This is about the economy of DFW. So, if we were in itself an economy, itself to be ranked in terms of economy, we would be top 10, which means obviously that we have a lot of job opportunities for students like you who would like to come study and then work later on with us. Not very recently, but when Modi ji decided to come to US, he decided to come to Texas. Now, why Texas? Obviously, this shows in so many states when Modi ji decided to choose Texas is because there is a reason behind it, right? This shows how close an association of US and how close an association between Texas and India is actually. A lot of our students did went to that summit as well. This in itself shows how prominent Texas is in for Indian students. Now, I would definitely like to highlight certain points about, a lot of students ask me whether the OPT is cancelled or the H1B visas are cancelled or there are any changes. Media keeps showing us that. Now, let me tell you, those media channels are Indians, okay? So TOI, to say, is an Indian media channel or a newspaper channel. A lot of this is propaganda done usually by the Indian media news channels, especially in the southern part of India, from Hyderabad and everywhere, where we see a lot of these news, fake news coming. Yes, there are congressmen who are trying to make these changes or trying to pressurize the administration to make these changes, but you should also know that there are companies like these, like Apple, like Alphabet, like Facebook, who are not going to just digest this fact that there will be no Indian students or there will be no Indian H1B workers or OPT students working for them, because we all know for a fact that Chinese and Indian students are two top international student producers for US economy. And when Trump joined, we all know he tried making so many changes, but then eventually he realized that the US economy needs people. US economy needs Indian students, and that's why we should definitely uh, be known to the fact that there is no news about it. There is no apparent if you do not see something from a valid .gov or from the USCIS website, everything that you see is going to be not true, or is something that is still under proposition but is not complete. Even behind Trump, there is a big parliament that needs to vote in majority for any change to happen in the US. It's not so easy for anybody to make any changes so easily. Yes, Trump made a decision to change something with reference to China, and he was able to do that because um, some students, some territories are not allowed now from Chinese China to come and study in USA, but that's okay because they realize that that was important. But it is not so easy to make any such changes. So all these OPT cancellations, H1B visa is cancelled, or H1B visas are in trouble, maybe cancelled anytime, is all something that you should not rely on unless and until that news is stated from the USCIS website from a reliable source. From a reliable source is a very important thing. Now the coronavirus also, we all know it's everywhere. If I would say that it's not there in Texas, I'd be straight up lying on your face. So I'm not going to do that. Obviously, there are cases everywhere. Even in India, we have now crossed UK to be the top four COVID cases in the entire world. And so US is also having such a population that there are cases, but as a university we have been able to handle it really well. We closed early the moment there was some discomfort coming in. We decided to close the campus, so our entire campus was deserted since the beginning of March. So all of these steps that we took, we have we have every weekend we have camps organized for students. We have counseling for students who are stressed with this and that they have to study online, they're not able to cope up with their studies. There is so much of change obviously around us, so there's so much going on that everybody needs to uh, kind of come in this easily. It's not easy for us to do that, but at 20 we have services that will help you to adjust with the circumstances and flourish very well in your studies. Again, I would like to tell you a little bit about, obviously, because a lot of students want to go to Canada, obviously a great country, a great opportunity for anybody who would want to settle down with a PR. But then, yes, we should also not forget that US is the pioneer of tech industry, and all these companies definitely are from US and rely on students like you who go there and work for them. So US is definitely one of the top destinations that you should try and pick for your studies. Um, Now, when a student decides to study, obviously, the most important factor is the cost. How much will it cost? Even here in India, if you have to decide a university or a college, you would first decide on the basis of cost. Now, I can generalize the statement that U.S. Studying in the central and the southern part of the U.S. is much more affordable than studying in the Bay areas and studying in the northeastern part, because those are more expensive places. This is an average cost of undergraduate and graduate studies at UNT. Precisely, the fee structure is $21,500 per annum for 2 semesters at an undergraduate at the undergraduate level at UNT. $21,500 per annum. This is the tuition cost. Then at the graduate level, which means at the master's level, per year your cost would be somewhere between about $16,000 per annum. So that's the fee structure. Living cost, obviously your food, accommodation, travel, etc. That is also very important. And Denton or DFW is not so expensive, I should say. If you decide to stay on campus, your living cost is approximately $12,000 to $13,000 per annum. Now, every undergraduate student who comes to the US by law needs to stay on campus for the first year as a freshman candidate. From the second year onwards, you can obviously move off campus. If you stay off campus, your living cost can be anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 per annum, depending on your lifestyle. Moving on, we have two intakes, fall and spring. Fall is the one that we look forward to now, is the August one, and then we also have a spring intake, which is January, and a short summer intake where we do not welcome a lot of international students because the professors are busy on the vacations and they go to meet their families across the globe and etc. So a limited number of classes are available in spring. You should focus on fall and spring. A limited number of classes are available in summer, so you should focus more on coming to fall or spring for sure. We'll also talk about what's really going on in India, because a lot of students do decide to come back after their master's degree or after their undergraduate degree. Maybe they have their family business store, which a lot of Gujaratis, I do believe, have. Or just other reasons maybe. So what's really going on in India? We should not forget, obviously, that a lot of companies are there in India. Amazon has its biggest infrastructure store in Hyderabad, so a lot of job opportunities is definitely there for students who come back from USA. And because you studied in USA, studied in one of the world's best education system, the American education system, you are a leg above over other students in terms of obviously getting a job, being employed, your packages, etc. It's obviously the next generation over here. We saw a lot of years back that there was a telecommunication boom where everyone actually studied telecom. Then a lot of students studied networking, so networking engineers, all of that. And then now we see a lot of students just talking about data. So it's data analytics world or data world or data analytics world. So we obviously have a lot of courses that support this boom, the data analytics boom, which is obviously data science, information science, learning technologies. Now, what is data science and what is information science? Everyone knows. I'll talk about learning technologies. So learning technologies is basically student and distance or virtual learning or education. It's also computational linguistics. When we type something in Google, we get a lot of options. So what that is basically linguistics. So a lot of that is now we are around technology now. Day in, day out. I'm not there in Surat or Bardoli, but I can still talk because technology made this possible. So we know how important technology is now, and all of these learning is online, virtual education. We see even a lot of universities obviously have to move online because of the COVID circumstances. So learning technologies help those jobs. We also have other programs like Masters in Artificial Intelligence that we recently launched for our fall semester. We are a standalone artificial intelligence degree in the entire state of Texas, which means just one in Texas, and very few in the entire US. Obviously, why? Because artificial intelligence is the future of IT industry. We also launched masters in cybersecurity at UNT, and a lot of students have benefited obviously when they come to UNT to study cybersecurity, is because they get to work on hands-on projects from the security agencies directly to and that really helps the students find out jobs later on. US education system obviously is more of practical training, and that's why a lot of students plan to go to US. US gives you a buffet system of education, buffet system of courses to select. We'll talk about that also. We have a data engineering program that we will launch very soon, for spring semester maybe. We offer a lot of programs in analytics as such as well, business analytics, MS. Very few universities which offer both. Business analytics is STEM, which means you get 3 years of OPT, 2 years of additional OPT extension because of the STEM concentration. We also have a data analytics program and a data science bachelor's level program. Now, very few universities offer it at bachelor's level. A lot of universities offer it master's level like we do, but bachelor's level is something that very, very rarely universities offer, like UNT. So we are in top top layer of programs that we offer, more advanced degrees that we offer to the students. These are the colleges that we have. So we have about 11 colleges at UNT and our graduate schools, College of Education, where we have education, learning, teaching, early childhood education, those courses. We also have kinesiology for physiotherapy students in the College of Education. Then comes College of Engineering. Most of the students come and study at the College of Engineering from India. So we have artificial intelligence, biomedical engineering, computer science, computer engineering, cybersecurity, electrical engineering, construction management, all these programs at UNT. I'm sorry, it did got disconnected. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So we have biomedical engineering, artificial intelligence, science, cybersecurity, many other programs, including mechanical engineering, construction management, material science and engineering. So a lot of students from Gujarat, I feel, apply for mechanical engineering programs that we have because we're very strong in mechanical and energy engineering, mechatronics programs as well. We have College of Information, where we have data science, information science programs, linguistics programs. College of Health and Public Service, where we have behavioral analysis, public administration for students like you who are interested. Then we also have liberal arts and social sciences, all about sociology, English, communication, etc. Merchandising, hospitality, and tourism. Shall says what programs do we offer. So we offer all these three concentrations. College of Music. So not a lot of students apply for music because apparently we Indians are still, stuck in engineering and becoming a doctor. But we have a very strong College of Music as a hobby. Maybe you can take one of the programs or one of the electives in music. We are a Grammy. We have a lot of Grammy winners. from the College of Music at UNT. We have a very strong College of Science, Biochemistry, Biotechnology, Molecular Biology, Chemistry, Mathematics, Physics. All of these programs are offered at UNT. Then Visual Arts and Design, Fashion Designing, Interior Designing, filmmaking, visual arts, graphics, all of that. So we do have a very strong school in College of Visual Arts and Design as well, and we are in collaboration with Denton Square for this program. So it's a very good program, very strong program at UNT. Journalism itself says what we are, so that's a journalism, Memon School of Journalism. Then we have College of Business. College of Business, obviously, accounting, finance, business analytics, MBAs, HR, IB, etc. So we offer all these concentrations as well. In the College of Business, we also offer STEM courses. So as I mentioned in the previous slides, MS in Business Analytics is STEM, MBA Business Analytics is STEM, and also we have MS Finance, which is STEM at UNT. Graduate school is basically where all the master's programs are taught. So that's where graduate school comes in. Moving on, a little bit about about the admission criteria. So this is a very self-explanatory slide. Yes, for undergraduate students, SAT and ACT is not mandatory for admission and application. But if you want a scholarship, it is definitely recommended that you write SAT or ACT and have a good score of about 1200 or maybe about 24 in ACT for scholarships. At the graduate level, not all colleges, but these few colleges require GRE or GMAT, so it is definitely recommended that you start preparing for your GRE or GMAT and apply for the next coming intakes. We do accept 15 years of education. We're one of the very few universities which do accept 15 years of education, basically, which means that if you come from a 3 years of bachelor's degree, US is more of a 16 years education background. So if you come from NAC A university or above and have 70% or above, you can directly apply without a WES evaluation, without a bridging program, without an intensive program, directly to come and study at the master's level. Duolingo now has become a household name. Apparently, we have been accepting Duolingo for about 2 years when nobody in India knew about this. Duolingo 100 is required. We accept IELTS and IELTS indicator. We need a 6.0 in that, not 6.5, 6.0. TOEFL also we accept home test and TOEFL direct, the offline version or the IBT version to say. 79 is needed in that, and we also accept PTE. So we accept Duolingo, TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, all of them. You write as per your wish. GRE at home, obviously now because spring and fall 2021 is what we are planning for maybe. So GRE at home is definitely recommended for you to start preparing for an attempt because we accept that. Scholarships, very important point, right? Given that our fee structure is still affordable, we do offer a lot of scholarships because we are a state university. State universities receive a lot of funding from the government, and so we have a lot of scholarships. Apparently in Texas, if you are qualified for a competitive scholarship of $1,000, I repeat, for a competitive scholarship of $1,000, you can pay fees as a domestic student or an in-state student as well. Now, in-state students pay about half the fee, so which means a big discount, which means a very high, up to 50 or up to 100% discount on the fee in a scholarship that you can get. You should definitely plan for that as well. Competitive in sense at the undergraduate level will be SAT and ACT that we can see in the slide. And at the graduate level, it will be more of you having a very good GRE, you having a very good profile in terms of GPA as well. So we do have scholarships up to 50 or up to 100% as well. But related to COVID situation, now a lot of students ask me, whether should I go now or should I postpone my plans, or what should I do as per your suggestion. Now to say, okay, I'm definitely not the one to suggest you, because it's you who have to decide by yourself. But my recommendation is, you should keep on track. You should keep your studies on track, because that's really going to be important in your future also. A future that will see how did you use your lockdown times, or how did you use your this year, with all the struggles. Now we all know jobs are very limited, a lot of layoffs, we saw a lot of fold-offs that are happening. So it's best that you study, you continue studying. Now, even today, all these programs that I just told you about are so new, so updated, so recent, that will make you ready for the future, for the new economy that we will see in 1, 2, 3 years. The economy will take time, and what are you going to do in those times? You should obviously keep your studies on track. If you have already plans of studying, if you already have plans of going to the US and studying, the education system is the only way that you can, utilize your time, utilize your energy in the right way, and then be prepared for the new economy. So my suggestion is that yes, keep your studies on track. If the US embassy is open on time, because we don't have any news about them so far, but they should open very soon. If they open soon, you get an appointment, you crack your visa interview, good. You should come on the campus, because we will be open. We will be having in-person classes for all of you, mostly available on the campus. So if you do that, well and good. If the visa embassies do not open, you do not get an appointment, we will still have online classes as an option for you, and that will be a fraction of cost. The cost will be saved, right? Because you'll be here in the comfort of your own home, with your parents, with your family. You'll be studying with them, and if you're a graduate student, you might as well be working here, so you can complete your studies one semester and then make an application as well. So that will also help your visas for sure. Now, we were one of the first universities for sure that gave GRE or GMAT waivers for College of Business, and then College of Engineering also we waived off, because nobody would be able to take exams, GRE or GMAT. Then 8,000 classes moved from in the spring session moved online. So we did. Viren will be able to share his experience about that for sure. And also in the fall semester, what is going to happen? Even if you go on campus, all will be different, right? It's not going to be the same as it was always. Some classes will be online because of this class strength size, and we will also not be having just 5 days a week kind of pattern. Now we will follow 7-day week university pattern, where classes will be also on Saturdays and Sundays, so that we can have more in-person classes for you. Social distancing will be maintained. All those masks and sanitizers will be offered to students in bulk, so that you keep yourself safe, you keep your community safe as well. So we as a university will definitely have so many things for you. You can also have talk to your dean and your faculty directly with us. We arrange many sessions for that, and we will keep on doing that in future as well. Obviously, yes, we need a lot of documents when you have to come to the university making application. We need LORs and SOPs. Now, first achievers will be there definitely to guide you about those. In terms of visa, I would say visa officers are more concerned whether you're a genuine student or not, which means that if you are a genuine student, which means that you've taken all the necessary exams, you've known about your university that you're planning to go, and you kept your studies on track. very important. You kept your studies on track. So this is something that will show your genuinity, that you're a real genuine student and who would like to go and study in the US, who would like to go and study in UNT. Second, obviously, is the finances that the visa officers are concerned about. Finances, obviously, nobody would have a stack of money available in their bank accounts, which means you have enough loans or you have scholarships or something like that. And you're not a threat to the society. We used to have an MMR vaccine test that we used to ask students to take. Now we will also have maybe COVID test for students to take, just to make sure that you are in good health, and you will not really be a burden or to the society or threat to the society. I would like to tell you a little bit about statement of purpose over here. At the graduate level, we need a statement of purpose. At the undergraduate level, you say essay. Call it an essay for scholarships that you submit. Statement of purpose is a very important document. It should be, obviously, because there is no interview, so the professors don't know you. It's all about the papers that you've submitted. And SOP is your mirror reflection. So make sure you write your own SOPs by yourself. Research about the university that you apply to, maybe write a little bit about their facilities and professors. If you apply to our college, make sure you study a little bit before you make an application. Don't circle with the same SOPs in all the universities that you apply to. That makes a bad impression. And do not use plagiarism. We have plagiarism detecting applications or softwares, so do not do that. Moving on, we have a very huge campus, as I said, so huge number of students, 39,000 students to say precisely, of which just 4,000 are Indian, rest all are domestic students. So you get that actual American flavor. You get to know so many students from so many different countries, 130 countries, 1,000 students come from there, from 130 countries. From India, we have about 400, 500 students on our campus. So you get to so much on the campus. We have a very active career center who advises, on your SOP building, CVs, how do you present yourself. Career fair is very important for jobs also. How do you find jobs? If you do networking and you network with these career fairs. These are companies that are very close to us and usually come and recruit students from UNT. Toyota moved their headquarters to Dallas, very close to our campus. Itself says that how important Texas is for you all, because I'm sure a lot of you are interested in mechanical engineering, in computers, in analytics. So gear up. This is a little bit about, these are certain pictures about UNT as a campus, about what facilities do we have for you, how does it look like. We are a residential campus, so if you want to stay on the campus, even if you're a graduate student, you can do that. So these are facilities, and we are also very good at sports. Very close by, there is a city called Frisco, and I'm sure a lot of boys would know Dallas Cowboys, the soccer team. So we are also associated with them. They're very close by in Frisco, which is also called as the Mecca of sports. Then I'm sure a lot of Gujaratis have that Jain food culture. And I'm sure Viren can talk about that. I'm sorry. And then we also have a big Indian student association. You are also a part of, so you get to experience so much on the campus. So in the festivals, in Holi, in Diwali, matches, obviously we're a big fan of cricket, so we have all these facilities on our campus. This is my contact details, just in case you would like to talk to me directly, or connect with us, anyone at UNT. And you also have obviously first achievers who will help you out in Bardoli at close to your doorsteps. I will now hand over to Amit, just in case if there are any questions that the students have for me to talk.
Thank you, Farheen. It was a very detailed presentation. covered all the majority of details about COVID and the different programs like undergraduate, graduate, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was been feeling that if I could get admission, then I would like to start studying in it.
Well, I'll be glad to admit you.
It was an amazing, like by watching the campus photos and everything. It was really nice.
Great.
Moving further, I think we add Viren to share his experience, and I'll just
I'm right.
introduce Viren to everyone. So Viren Patel is basically from Sindh, and he is presently studying at University of North Texas. He got his visa and started studying at North Texas in January 2020. And we've been studying mechanical engineering, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So Viren, welcome to today's webinar, and we thank you that you spend time on with one request of ours by taking time from busy schedule and basically early in the morning, I guess.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir.
How are you doing? Like, how are you keeping? I hope that you'll be keeping yourself safe in this COVID condition.
Yeah, in our county there are only 10 to 12 cases, and we have to wear masks all the day, so we are safe.
Okay, that's great. Like, it is definitely a pandemic which been covered like whole world, and good to know that you have been keeping yourself safe.
Yeah.
Viren, I'll hand over to you. Like, basically, the main purpose of this webinar is that you can share your experience about UNT, about your studies.
Yeah.
So open to you, like whatever you'd like to explain. You can feel free. You can feel that you have been talking to your friends, because I hope that majority of your friends have been attending this webinar.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, all of you. I hope you all are aware in this COVID-19 situation. I want to share my experience at University of North Texas. I'm very thankful to First Achiever Consultants team for suggesting me this university. I came here in Jan 2020 in tech. So let's start. So let me share my experience at UNT. So first of all, I would like to say about the academics. Here in UNT, there are each and every measures available in the campus like engineering, pharmacy, accounting, etc. and so on. Here, all teaching and non-teaching staffs are very good, and even they guide us with the future guidance and what we can do in near future. The campus of University of North Texas is very good, and the main benefit of UNT is they have UNT Discovery Park, which is just 5 miles away from the main campus. And to go there, the UNT offer the transportation facilities like DCTA, the Denton County Transportation Authority, and we can go by bus over there. And for whoever have enrolled in UNT, the transportation is free. Just we have to scan that ID, and we can we can go by bus. And so everyone Discovery Park. Mostly all the engineering classes are conducted with practical experience in Discovery Park. And even they have 3D printers which are very useful for the engineering student. So before Farheen ma'am mentioned that finding a job is very easy, and it's true. Just the main thing is we come in international category. So just we need at least 3 to 6 month experience for spring semester or fall semester, and then as soon as we complete that, we have to go to career center, and then that we have to join one app like joint handshake account, and they offer the jobs. We have to create resume and all that. If we continue on campus jobs, then we might get the United States social, which is very useful in near future. So lastly, I thank whole First Achiever Consultants for guiding me and make my dream approved to study in USA in one of the best university in University of North Texas. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks indeed, Viren, for sharing your experience and the detailed experience about campus and all. Obviously, it's going to help to many students who have been passing the 12th grade in 2020. I still remember when you joined our classes and you were preparing for the USA in 2019. And I can see that how well you have grown. Like, when you have been here, you have kind of been not mature, I would say, but right now by seeing you, I would say you have grown a lot. Many maturity have been there. And hopefully, like, you have been also enjoying online classes. Like, have you been attending the online classes now?
Yes, right now I have taken my summer classes, and all the summer classes are online. And for fall, the presidents are mailing us that only the practical classes are conducted in campus, and else there will be online.
Indeed, it's been necessary and like it need to be done in this way for keeping people safe and keeping ourselves safe. So thanks again, Viren, for spending time,
Thank
and
you, sir.
we highly appreciate First Achiever Consultant. Now moving further, we'll take few of the questions for it, like which are not
Sure.
answered in the presentation. Majority of the questions which have been covered about
Sure.
Duolingo and all. Like Duolingo, as mentioned, it's been accepted not
Yes.
only in COVID, but it was been accepted long ago. Like 100 we need. 100 we need for both UG or PG, or there would be a different requirement.
No, so our English proficiency requirements are same for undergraduate and graduate students both. So Duolingo 100.
Perfect. Do you would like to comment anything on these online studies? Though you have covered really well, a few of the questions I can see which are related to that if students been holding an admit for fall 20 and if they have been starting this study online, let's say embassy has not been opening in a much sooner time.
Yeah.
So what would be the fees, payments conditions, and what if the visa might get refused? I know, like, if they're going to start the study, it's going to give a positive impact in visa, but just in case if this happens, what would be the response on this from the UNT?
Absolutely. So definitely, if you have the online semester, the fees will be definitely different than what you would pay as a in-person classes as a normal student. We are currently working on that, considering that it's so many courses are there. It's still under discretion, under finalization, and we will let you know all of the students directly over email. We will let first achievers know so that they can guide you as well about the fee structure. But I can definitely say that it's not going to be the same as in-person classes. It's going to be obviously maybe 1/3 or something like that, which we will let you know sometime very soon. If your visa is rejected, I know this is definitely a question that everyone has in their mind, but as we discussed in the presentation, the visa officers are more concerned if you're a genuine student and if you keep your studies on track. If you took the online classes, obviously you showed your genuinity to the visa officer. So apparently we are optimistic that your visas will not be refused in that case, because you showed your genuinity to the visa officers already. But just in case your visas are rejected, you can try again, because in US we do see that your visas are sometimes so uncertain and also a luck based factor. So you can definitely reapply, because US does not stop you in that, or else you can continue the next semester also with us online, then try for visa. That is also a possibility that we have worked out on. Also, otherwise we will give you a transcript that you can use to maybe show your skills in this first semester that you studied, or transfer out to some other university could be a final choice also. But again, I'm very optimistic while I say this, that if you have taken the online semester, if you have been proven the visa officer, there's no way that you should really worry about this. If your everything else is good. If you have the financial strength, if you know about UNT, there shouldn't be a problem.
Perfect. Thank you. One more question connected to it, that does the online learning is going to affect on OPT or CPT? Like,
Correct. So definitely this question is something that everyone needs to know. We do not see any effect happening on your OPT, because OPT is after your 2 years of studies or after your 4 years of studies. That's the 3 years of STEM based OPT extension or 1 year of non STEM based OPT extension. That's not going to be affected. CPT. So when we talk about CPT, CPT has certain rules. One of those rules says that you need to be on the campus for 9 months, which means 2 semesters. So when you start online, that semester cannot be counted against your CPT. So you go there, you start in the spring semester, that's going to be your first semester counted for CPT. The second semester will be your fall semester, that's going to be counted for your CPT. And then you are eligible to do CPT from 2021. 2022 January. So that's when you can start doing your CPT. That's the only impact that we see. But also, again, I like to tell you that there is a lot of discussion going on in the parliament, in the in the department, that they should revise this for particularly this semester, because a lot of students depend on CPTs and OPTs for their work experience. So there is a possibility that this might change. Also, because in the light COVID, there have been certain changes that we saw. So yeah, that's the only impact we see.
right, perfect. That was a great answer. And one more question about CPT. Like, many times students have this confusion that either CPTs are only been available for undergraduate students or it is for graduate and undergraduate both.
Okay, so CPT is basically for all the students who apply for STEM-based programs, whether you are an undergraduate or a graduate student. CPT is basically what we call summer internship, to say, in the layman language. It's the internship that you do while you are studying on the campus, and you get a summer break, and that time you do an internship. That is what is termed as CPT. It has certain regulations, rules, obviously, that you need to follow. You need to get approvals from the department. You need to obviously let them know where you're working, what's your job role like, etc. So that you can calculate it against your CPT. You can mention it in your CV also as an internship CPT opportunity that you did. But it is for undergraduate and graduate both.
Perfect, perfect. One more interesting question, that is, if some students have been, like shifted from India to USA, maybe on this F4 or family file, I guess. So, do they have to follow the same admission requirement, or there would be some other changes that they could have to follow?
Okay, so there are different, obviously, opportunities here as well, right? You can be as a dependent, as a student dependent on a parent on H1 or an L1 or something else, other visa category, or you're a green card holder, or you're a citizen already. You were a citizen who were here in India, who did not study in the US. So different categories have different rules. So our immigration department definitely will be able to assist you much better in this, because each category has a different requirement, honestly speaking. But yes, one of the major requirements is gone. You don't need a visa. If you already have a visa, or if you're already a citizen, or if you already have your green card approved, you don't need a visa. That's the major good thing that you have. A lot of students also can qualify to pay fees as a domestic student, which means in-state tuition fees can also be applicable for you. But yes, each visa category has different requirements. So our immigration team will certainly suggest you better considering your profile individually. But yes, we do have these benefits for students who are already, visa holders. But the application process remains the same.
Uh, One more question, that is, do you have any medical courses, like, or I'll add one more concern in it, that if someone would like to get admit in the medical courses like doctor or something,
Right.
which program they have to go through, like what would be the prerequisites they have to done and all that.
Okay, so if you are at planning for an undergraduate level undergraduate level medicine course in India, after 12th we give this NEET exams or multiple other tests, and then you can get into medicine school directly. But in the US, you first need to have a 4 year of undergraduate degree before you actually can write the medicine entrance exams. So we do offer the pre-med track, which prepare you for uh, those tests, and then you get an entry to the medicine school, which we call USMLE, that you need to write after your 4 years of undergraduate degree. And pre-med track is something that we offer at UNT. After that, you get into a medicine school. We do not offer a medicine school that UNT has. We have a medicine school in Fort Worth area, in Dallas Fort Worth area itself, so that's not very far away, but we do not offer a professional medicine degree for the students.
That's great. I'll take this one, that do you accept 3 year of bachelor? So yes, UNT accept 3 year of bachelor as mentioned in the presentation. The condition would be that the institute would be NEC A approved plus holding a 70% academics. And if you students have any more, if students you need more details on NEC A approval and all, you can come and visit us. We'll explain the things on it. Moving further, is there any backlog requirements? Like, are you been keeping any limits for backlogs, like number of phase for PG programs?
Correct. So for the graduate students, definitely it's very important to know the backlogs. So we accept up to 8 backlogs from a 4 year degree, which means if you've done an engineering program or if you're a pharmacy student, because we offer health informatics also at UNT. So if you're a pharmacy student, if or a dental student, or if you are an engineer, we accept up to 8 backlogs from your side. And if you did a BBA or a BCom, which is 3 years degree, we accept up to 6 backlogs.
Right. Perfect. One last question I think we'll do, and that would be, do students need to do any transcript evaluation? I think it's specifically for PG. As for PG, I don't think we need a transcript evaluation.
Correct. So no, UNT does not need any evaluation from your side, no WES, nothing at all. We have our own evaluators, admissions team, who will evaluate your mark sheets or your transcripts. Even if you come from 10 years of education, you don't need to do that. Now, I will tell you one thing. If you come from a NAC B accredited university, for an example, in Gujarat, GTUC, I'm not sure, but say GTU is it's a NAC B.
But UTU, Ukata University.
Ukata University, say for an example, if that is NAC B accredited, and you have a 70 and above percentage, now our condition states that you should be from a NAC A university and should have 70%, but you are not from NAC. Then in this case, you can get a WES evaluation done and we can consider that. But as far as you come and meet our criteria completely, you don't need to have that.
Perfect. And one last question I would like to ask, that would be like, what is a deadline? Like, I know somehow it's been, I think, 15th of June.
Correct. So for fall of 2020, which means the August intake, we extended the deadlines till June 15th. So just 2 days to go now for a deadline on Monday. And spring, which is spring 2021, which is the January intake, we have already started accepting applications and we will continue accepting till September 30.
Right. So with that note, I would like to ask everyone if you have been looking for studying at UNT in fall 20. Still, we have 2 days, right? If I send you the application on Monday, we'll hope that you're going to consider and you're going to process it. So,
Yes,
yeah. So all the students, if you have any if you have been planning or if you are thinking to go ahead, we can do that, and you can meet us. You can call us by latest Monday. Obviously, tomorrow we are not been available, but we'll make sure that we're going to process your application on the same day. So that is with that, and I guess we're done with all the questions. It was a really amazing session. We really appreciate me and the First Achiever team Farheen for spending all of her time on a Saturday evening, especially Viren for waking up so early.
so early. Yes.
The time. It was an amazing session, and we'll hope that all the attendees have enjoyed the session. You know, got to know many details, specifically about this. Trump is stopping the H1 and OPT would be not there. That you have covered really well. Truly speaking, I have received multiple calls from today morning that either it has been true or not. Because in India, what happens that many times people are more believing in finding a source of the news. They just get away with the news which have been word of mouth. But it was
Absolutely.
so. Thanks everyone for spending your time. Have a good day, a good evening, and have a good weekend. Hopefully, you guys keep safe and be healthy.
Yes, I'd like to thank First Achievers also for this opportunity, especially Viren for joining us. First Achievers has been so helpful for all the students for sure. And if you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch with them directly or us at UNT. We'll be glad to assist you. And I just hope that you all are staying safe and take care. And yeah, see you soon again. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Viren.
Yes, sir.